this, but you speak German.
Mm-hmm.
Has that affected your comedy at all?
No.
The understanding of the German people and their mastery of comedy.
My best sketch from my solo show, I play Angela Merkel.
Yeah.
And the version of it I'm doing at Hell Yes Fest is only 30 minutes, and that's literally 8 minutes. So a third of my solo show is me as Angela Merkel. It's one of those things where it's like, people are always like, cut, because I honestly believe like a shorter sketch is better. Like 3 minutes is probably the longest it should be, and this one's so fun for me, and it gets so such consistent laughs the whole time. It's really, really fun. And I think it's just because I picked the stupidest game in the world. I was like on a walk one day and I was like, what if Angela Merkel really cared if there was a biopic made about her? And so that's the 8 minutes. It's just like her explaining. And I also do this dumb thing because like people who know me know I Photoshop my friends onto stupid shit for their birthdays. And I was like, what if I had Photoshopped Angela Merkel onto stupid shit? So it's a slideshow going in the background where I've Photoshopped Angela Merkel onto like a number of different video, like movie posters. And that's the only thing. For a while I was doing, I did a bit about Angela. I love her. Angela Merkel is, man, I got so many facts, guys. She's the most powerful woman in the world. And she has been voted that by Forbes magazine 9 years out of the last 10. How many times has Hillary Clinton won? None. No times. No times! So, I don't know. I did this bit where I was her and I was like, because for the show... What's it, the show Megan hosted where you put OkCupid profiles together?
The dating...
Nobody will care. Our friend Megan Simon hosted a show where you put together fake OkCupid profiles for characters, and I did mine as Angela Merkel, and I wrote all of these stupid pickup lines as her. Like, if you can't handle me at my Oktoberfest, you don't deserve me at my Oktoberbest. And like, if you can't handle me at my Wurst, you don't deserve me at my pecan-crusted schnitzel. And just, like, stupid stuff like that. And it was the most fun. I tried to do that as a stand-up bit, and it didn't work. So anyway, that's how German has impacted my comedy.
Wow, that's a very specific question.
Oh, no, it just... German doesn't normally impact comedy. That was sort of where I was going with that. We're just like... Have you guys seen that Netflix movie that just came out? It's like Look Who's Back or something like that. And it's like
Is it a Look Who's Talking movie?
Oh man, that would be really good.
Isn't it? No, it's not. Bummer.
No, it's about basically just Hitler just wakes up one day in modern day Germany, and it's shot by Germans. It's written by Germans, which I always thought was kind of something they were never going to like try to make light of.
Yeah, but there's some, alt artists there doing the same thing we're doing, where we're like pushing the boundaries.
Yeah, it's actually a lot. I don't know. The point of it is different than I thought it was trying to be in the beginning, and it actually it's pretty good. Basically making the comment that apology to our German and Austrian listeners again.
Oh no.
That basically Germany would take quick to another Hitler.
Ah, interesting.
And like literally, because like Hitler comes back and everybody thinks he's doing a bit. They think it's a guy doing a bit. So he kind of becomes this sort of pop, like YouTube star and stuff, and like his popularity grows. He starts making appearances on like the funniest sketch show, like sort of the Saturday Night Live of like Germany or like Southern Germany, and he just comes out there and just keeps doing this thing and like starts to sway the German people in this weird way, like as this sort of like character is what they think they're getting into, but everybody's just super into it.
So it's basically a Trump commentary.
Yeah, I was gonna say this sounds like an allegory for any sort of like don't follow famous people just to do anything.
Yeah.
Just because they're a human being you want to listen to doesn't mean you should listen to everything they say without discretion.
As weird as it sounds, though, like my favorite part of it was like the guy who does Hitler, because I can tell that he sat down and watched a lot of like Hitler speeches, because his way of speaking was very specific and like very studied.
Have you guys ever seen these pictures? Hitler was like a super self-aware narcissist, basically, and like had somebody come photograph him for himself in different poses so he could decide what was the strongest for him to make speeches in. So you can actually find these pictures online of Hitler just posing in
I
like
like
a
it.
billion different ways to be like, where do I look the coolest?
Yeah.
Makes a lot of sense, though. I mean, he
Yeah.
was just sort of some sort of, narcissist that's trying to draw attention to himself,
Yeah.
and he happened to get it through military service, and then it was like, well, fuck, what am I going to do with this power?
Yeah.
Let's do that. These people were dicks to me. Let's be dicks to them. Yeah, I mean, it sounds like clearly an allegory of a larger idea.
Yeah, and it's just one of those things where, like, I don't know, it's actually it's really funny in a dark way. Just kind of like all the interactions that people have with him, and like the way he shapes the TV show that keeps showing him and stuff, and everybody. There's this part where the producer just is like, "All right," to the writers, and he's like, "All right, so we're just gonna be as racist as possible," and it's all these Jewish writers that have to write shit that like they don't want to write for the show. It's really it's weird.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen Man Seeking Woman?
With
No,
Jay Baruchel?
but I do love
Yeah,
me some Jay Baruchel.
Did you see
Eric,
the pilot?
Yes, Eric Andre is also in
Yes.
it.
Yeah. The whole point is like, I mean, it's basically, it's kind of like Andrew Tribeca is this way too. It's like, oh, we're just gonna do basically comedic heightening to the extreme and not care as much about plot. So in the first episode, he's like finding out like, oh, my girlfriend left me. Why? And it like heightens to the point where she's literally left him for Hitler, and he's Jewish, and he goes to this party, and he's like, everybody's like on Hitler's side. Anyway, that's another great modern Hitler depiction. I'm currently watching The Man in the High Castle. When are we gonna let Hitler go?
Hey man, I honestly, it's almost disturbing because dude's dead and he still holds such a serious
So much power.
connection to like the way we look at things. I mean, he's currently used as our like name for the devil, for the ends of things. That's huge.
Well,
he
Joseph Stalin had, he did some stuff too. It's
not all right,
No?
Well, and I don't know. So the focus of the show, The Man in the High Castle, which is an Amazon Prime original, is
I watched a
what
couple
would
of those.
happen if Hitler had won? And it's like one of those things where it's like, that's not actually, like, that was a possibility. Like, he was probably too egotistical to actually achieve it because he did a bunch of things that were really stupid because he thought he could.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, in the end, like, it's not out of the realm of possibility that he could have won the war. And then would the whole world be evil? Like, how long would we have been evil? Like, how long would it have stayed that way? And I mean, they just poke at it a whole bunch in the show. It's just like, people just have to keep agreeing to die until they win. Anyway, sorry. Woo! Dark.
Yeah. Why can't we just bring up Germany in a conversation without it? No, I'm just kidding.
I feel bad for Germany, And that's you're right though. I mean, that's what people always draw to it.
Well,
And
that's
it's
why.
so funny because they're so much further from it now than
Absolutely,
we are, and
yeah.
Americans won't let it go. Because, like, Germany is way more economically productive, way more, like, social democratic than we are. And, yeah.
It's like I mean, like, even in southern Germany, it's like there's like a strong push to like put more greenery around the cities and inside of cities, and like set aside more nature than like something than what American cities.
Their
would even
far
do.
right is like our Democrats. Crazy.
Yeah, super. I don't know. I mean, everybody deals with history in a different way, and they are an older country for sure that have dealt through things. Like even we were talking about with the producing, like they've done it. They've gone through some shit, and they're like, "Hey, man, I know that seemed like a big fight back then, but we had some big fights." I'm just saying, like it's one of many.
Yeah.
It's almost like I've been married for 5 years, and just the idea of that is like, after a while, you're just like, oh yeah, you're gonna do what you do always at all times. Okay, I'm gonna be annoyed by that for a little while, and am I gonna really do anything about it? No, I'm just gonna sort of let it happen. And why? Because it's like it's just easier. It'll pass.
Yeah.
And I feel like in a larger sense, like countries that have a longer history, they're like, I don't know, more blasé to those kinds of things, which I think makes other people mad. Like, so our foreign policy, because we're a young country, is all like, save everybody. Why doesn't everyone want to be saved? And some of the countries are like, we'll figure it out.
I don't know if I necessarily understand what you're saying, because I think that Germany definitely has a more Like, if you're talking about save everybody in terms of welfare, like, Germany's
No, I
absolutely
don't
a welfare
think.
state.
I don't think. No, I wasn't talking about that. I was saying Germany with reference to being an older country and making wise decisions, and that America likes to fuck it up because they're young and stupid and think they're right, even though we're like 200 years old.
Yeah.
And we're like, we get it.
We understand.
Don't worry about it. We're not going to mess anything up. But if you're not doing it the way we like it, get out of here, man.
Yeah, Germany has like porta-johns that are older than this country.
I like Germany. I was there.
I was super endeared to it when I was
for
there.
a short period of time in college.
Yeah.
Just like a
I-
weekend
Same here in high
trip.
school.
Also liked it when I read about it on the internet.
So, Katie, as far as you've been producing, you've been doing stand-up, you do sketch, you're all-around performing, dynamo. What's your, like, next big goal? And I don't mean, like, oh, I want to get a show on Tuesdays, but, like, your big old goal. Like, I want to be on TV, or I want to be the king of the world, or I want to be L. Ron Hubbard and start my own religion.
That's a really good question. Well, I don't know. I think that I have a really hard time setting goals I can't achieve immediately.
Right on.
So I have all sorts of little goals about, like, festivals or local opportunities that I want to do. And I've been working really hard to develop, like, a writing voice, because I do think I would love to write comedic essays and get paid for it. Maybe that's it. It's like I'd like to get paid for comedic essays, even if it's not a ton, you know. Reductress pays $45 an article, which doesn't even cover the hours you spent writing it. But, you know, things like that are in my immediate goal range. I don't know. I'd love to be a professional comedian, but I think I'm so scared of that idea that I'm like, I'm just going to work as hard as I possibly can and not think too hard about the distant future, because I don't want to end up disappointed.
Yeah, I hear that. Plus, short-term goals can be easier. It depends on the way that you handle your productivity. Sometimes I can only handle... I will schedule myself 3 months ahead, but in the moment, like, that's when I'm in schedule mode, but in the moment, I'm only right here.
Yeah.
Like, I have it all written in a calendar at home where I need to be tomorrow and the next 12 to 20 days. I know exactly where I'm going to be because I have it all written down. But but right now I'm in this moment with you, and this is all that matters right now. And it's like, if you ask me, do you have anything on Saturday? I'm like, I have no idea.
Yeah.
But it's written down.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you later. But it's like, no, you know, I just want to be in the short term too. It's a lot easier.
Yeah. Yeah.
How do you guys do it?
My schedule?
No, I mean, you know, like
setting.
your goals. Do you find it easier to just have short-term goals that you
Absolutely. I'm very
find
much
are
living
tangible
day to day.
and close by? Do you have any larger, wide open goals?
Really just sustainability. Just more in the sense of, like, I keep shifting farther and farther away from working and doing more comedy, but, like, it's like I can't leave work entirely because it pays the bills, and it's like, if I could just find, which, I mean, that's asking for the world to say, if I could find consistently paying comedic work, or, like, just acting in general, just something performance driven, just because normally those things are like projects, or they normally do, like, there's one finite thing that happens and then it's done, as opposed to having, like, a year-round job, you know. But yeah, no, I mean, for me, it's like I kind of just, I'll start working on a project, and then that's all I think about until it's done. Like the sketch thing we just did for Jeff Whitaker or whatever. It's like, that's literally every day. I'm just trying to, like, whittle that down and make myself feel good about it happening. And yeah, now that that's done, I'm just trying to lock a date down for the next one. And as soon as I have that, well, and right now it's kind of just this, like, all right, I guess I'm just going to work at the restaurant and try and make as much money as possible until I have a date, until I have another goal to hit, I guess. And it's, yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to get October, something in October. So right now, just serving steak to politicians, and
You serve steak to a lot of politicians?
when the House is in session, which will be next year. It's out right
Where
now.
are you? Are you at Vince Young's?
Ruth's Chris.
Ruth's Chris.
Which we're going through like $1 million worth of renovations right now. So by next year when the house is in session, hopefully we're going to look like an entirely different place. We're going to have a bigger bar.